Lady Mina was a beautiful young woman who lived in a town of Akoma. She had a daughter named Nora. Lady Mina lost her wealthy husband some years back. Her husband's name was Richard. They loved each other so much. Lady Mina lost her husband in ghastly motor accident while returning from business trip. He had so much money. He was so hardworking together with his wife. As an educated young lady who lost her husband so early, she took over the business of her husband. Lady Mina was so busy with her business that she found it difficult to take care of her daughter. She disliked housemaid because of the story she had heard from people. Nora, as the only and surviving daughter of Lady Mina, and her husband, late Richard, was very close with her father. She was a sweet but fragile girl of 10 years, had always been her father's joy and had struggled to connect with her mother since his passing. She longed for the nurturing presence that Lady Mina could no longer provide. Nora was lonely because her mom, Lady Mina, was always in her business. She was so unhappy that she needed a companion. One day, Lady Mina came back from her daily business and her daughter Nora needed to discuss her opinion with her, and she said, "Mom, yes, my daughter, how was business today?" "It went fine, my daughter," said Lady Mina. "How are you doing, my child?" said Lady Mina. "I'm doing fine, ma, but I'm not really happy. The way I always feel lonely here, I suggest that you bring a maid. I mean a helper that will be staying with me anytime you are not around." Lady Mina responded to her daughter, "All right, my darling. I will think about that. That your mom don't like, you know that your mom doesn't like maid, but because of you, I will put it in consideration," said Lady Mina. 1 week later, Nora fell sick that she needed to stay at home with someone. The sickness was so severe that made Lady Mina to start looking for a someone. She was desperate to find someone who could care for Nora and restore some semblance of peace to the house. A day later, she she hired a new maid, someone who would tend to her daughter every need and bring back the warmth that seems to have vanished with late Mr. Richard's death. Elena arrived at Lady Mina's house. She was a very beautiful lady, tall and black. She was unlike any maid Lady Mina had ever met. She was a lady of striking beauty, with dark brown hair that cascaded in waves over her shoulders, and intelligent eyes that seemed to penetrate right through you. Her appearance was clean, her manners impeccable, and her knowledge vast. She spoke with a calm assurance that immediately won over Lady Mina. Though Elena's age was difficult to place, somewhere between 20 and 30, there was something discouraged, matured about her presence. "I have a natural affinity for children," said Elena during her interview, her voice soft but firm. "And I am devoted to the well-being of my charges." Lady Mina, feeling both relieved and intrigued by this lady, hired her on the spot. From the very first day, Elena made an immediate impact on Nora. The young girl, shy and hesitant around strangers, responded to Elena's gentle, yet firm approach with surprising ease. Elena had a way of understanding Nora that no one else did. She knew when to be playful and when to be serious. Nora, once withdrawn, began to show glimmers of her old, lively self, laughing, playing, and even running to greet Elena every morning. The house, which had long been silent, started to feel alive again. Elena's influence stretched beyond just Nora as she charmed the household staff with her graceful appearance and began to organize the once disordered schedule of the estates. She quickly became indispensable to Lay Mina, who found herself relying on Elena, not only for her daughter's well-being but also for her own emotional comfort. As weeks passed, the bond between Nora and Elena deepened. The maid was everything Nora had longed for: an attentive friend, a patient listener, and a kind soul who seems to understand her better than anyone else. But unknowingly to Lady Mina and her daughter that Elena is an evil maid who finds pleasure in sleeping with minors. She enjoys having her ways into little female children. One day, Lady Mina has prepared to go for her daily business, and she left her daughter Nora under the care of maid Lena as usual. But during her break time, she decided to come back home to pick some documents. As she approached the house, everywhere was quiet. She noticed something strange. The large, imposing mansion was so quiet, and the usual sounds of the household or Nora's laughter were missing. She was so concerned that she hurried inside. On getting close to Nora's room, she heard her daughter moaning as if someone was touching her. Immediately, Elena noticed the sounds of someone on the door. She hurried and got up from the bed where she was laying with Nora. As a smart lady and someone that have been in such practice, she dressed up and also dressed Nora. She acted as if she was teaching Nora something. Immediately, Lady Mina opened the door. She was surprised to see her maid Elena teaching her daughter something. It was like a film to her, and she started asking her daughter if she was alright, and Nora said no. Lady Mina collected the documents and rushed out, but something kept bothering her. She thought of many things. She asked herself, are you sure that someone is not touching Nora? Are you sure that something is alright with my daughter? Is she hiding anything from me? Is Elena hurting my child? She thought of many things, but she couldn't place her hand on anything. She decided to let everything die. While Lady Mina was in her business premises, at home, Elena rushed to Nora and told her not to tell her mother anything. She promised her that she would be buying her gifts. Nora accepted not to tell her mom. Elena continued to take advantage of Nora. She disvirgined her. Nora stopped going to school the way she used to. Every morning, she pretended as if she was preparing for school. Once her mother left, she would enter inside the room with Elena. Elena kept having affair with Nora to the extent she was so attached with her, she began to nurture a very deep feelings for Elena. But Lady Mina was so busy with her business, she refused to see and notice what was going on in her home. This incident continued to happen. Elena turned Nora against her mother. Nora only confided in Elena instead of her own mother, Lady Mina. She began to see Elena as her friend, sister, and mother. With time, it begins to pain Lady Mina. She noticed some new changes in her daughter's attitude, but she doesn't know what was actually wrong. She have asked her daughter so many times, but she refused to open up to her. One day, Lady Mina went to her normal business, but before she left, Nora was getting ready for school. She tried to know whether she would notice something from Elena and Nora, but nothing happened. She left to her business office. She tried to figure out what was going on, but she couldn't. Lady Mina picked up her phone and called one of her friends, Nikki, that have not been to her house before. She told her everything that has been happening in her home and pleaded to her to pretend to visit her house to know whether she will get what is going on between Elena and Nora, her daughter, and her maid Elena. Nikki accepted and requested for address. The next day, Nikki prepared to visit Lady Mina's house. When she got there with the address, she parked her car outside the gates. Fortunately for her, the gates and doors of the house were open. She entered quietly without knocking. Nikki quietly started entering all the rooms in order to know the exact room they were. After entering all the rooms, she gave up. She was about to leave the house. She heard two ladies making sound inside the last room. It was a very bad sound. At the initial time, she thought that it was couples that is making out, but as she went close, it was sounding differently. Immediately, she banged the door and it was wide open. She caught Elena making love with Nora. In her greatest shock, she shouted and called Nora. As the sound of Nikki, Elena was shocked and started asking, "Who are you? What are you doing here?" "I am Nikki, a best friend to Lady Mina." Immediately, Elena went on her knees and started begging Nikki not to tell her madam. "So this is all the suspect from my friend," said Nikki. "And you, Nora, is this the lifestyle you want to live? I am so sorry for you." "Well, you guys should continue to enjoy yourself." Nora kept crying and was begging Madam Nikki not to tell her mom. Out of anger, Nikki left immediately. Elena was ashamed of herself. She was so shocked that she began to plan her next move. She tried to convince Nora to lie to Lady Mina, Nora's mom, but she couldn't succeed, so Nora was so down and doesn't know what to do if her mother find out what was going on between her and the maid. That day, Nikki got home and put skull across her friend Lady Mina. Lady Mina was waiting patiently for her call and she said, "Hello, my friend. How did you go?" said Lady Mina, and Nikki said, "My good friend, Mina, abomination is happening in your home." Lady Mina shouted, "What do you mean, my friend?" "Nikki, how do you mean? Please tell me what happened. Calm down." "Mina, let me explain to you what I saw in your house. Elena, your housemaid that you employed, is abusing your child. I caught her with your daughter on the bed." Lady Mina shouted, "What? Nikki, please, what do you mean? My child Nora, Jesus, I'm finished. God help me. I'm dead." "Nikki, tell me is a lie." Out of anger and shock, Lady Mina cut the call and drove straight to her home. On getting to her house, she went straight to kitchen, took a knife and went inside the room where Elena was and she stabbed her to death and ran immediately to police and reported herself. Lady Mina was locked up in a cell and charged to court. Nora was heartbroken and regretted all her actions. She was left all alone in the building. At the end, Lady Mina was charged to 25 years in prison and Nora was all alone by herself. Guys, I hope that you find this story interesting. Kindly subscribe to my channel at African Tales by Ifenkili. Like and share with family and friends. Turn on your notification button and stay tuned for more interesting and mind-blowing stories coming your way next time. Guys, remain blessed. Bye.